Peace, stars. What's up? It's your boy Ebru, host of the Dynasty Podcast. Rocking the podcast today. We're gonna be talking about Elfrid Payton, man. You guys complain too much about him. I've been seeing all over the internet. Nobody likes him. He's not really that great of a basketball player, but he's not as bad as you guys are making it out to be. And like it should be a bigger picture. And I kind of want to talk about that in this podcast as like a primer to get ready for these playoffs. It's coming Sunday, man. Today is Thursday. I haven't seen you guys in a little while, but today's Friday. We got Saturday, Sunday, 2 more days, man. People still talking about Payton. This is a guy that signed to a 1-year contract. 1-year contract, quote unquote. He has a no trade clause or whatever. Somebody with a 5-year contract, no trade clause, all bunch of bullshit the whole year, man. Right now is no time for the bullshit. It's time to get ready for the playoffs, which I said it's in just 2 days. Sunday, man. So let's talk about it, man. Before we get into that, let's just talk from the horse's mouth. This is Tom Thibodeau.
Just wondering where you stood right now with the starting lineup with Elfrid Payton, who has struggled quite a bit in recent games. What do you see with Elfrid in terms of his confidence right now?
Come on, Berman. Look, I've said this all along, but the depth of our team is one of our strengths. There's things that Elfrid provides for us that, are a big asset to our team. His size, his defense, those are important factors. And then you look at it in totality. How does a team function? And so, and as is the case with most players, there's going to be ups and downs. And you don't have to shoot well to play well. And just go out there, give us what you can. And every game is different. So the thing that I love about our team is if someone's not going good, then another guy steps in. And if he's going good, everyone's cheering for that guy. The most important thing is the team winning. And that's where I want the focus to lie. So the things that you can do well, focus in on those things. The things that you don't do well, you stay away from those things, play to your strengths, cover up your weaknesses, and do that as a team. And if you do that as a team, the team will have success. And that's what we're focused in on.
Yeah, so I don't know what everyone else is focused on, man. That's from the horse's mouth. That's from the leader, the Tom Thibodeau. Everyone wants him to be coach of the year. He led this team to a 41-31 record. Elfrid Payton was the starting point guard this whole time. The only way that Elfrid Payton didn't start is if he was hurt. You know what I'm saying? He came back. Maybe he might have came off the bench or whatever. I think he might have did that once or twice. But when he comes back, he's been a starter for the whole time that he's been playing, man. So I don't know exactly how many games he played this year, but 41-31. That's Elfrid Payton has a big part in that, regardless of what, however you think, whatever you think about him, because people want to say Frank. That's the first person right off the bat. Frank should be playing. Absolutely. There's no reason why Elfrid Payton is on this roster. We had him last year. We had that experiment. There was no reason to bring him back. We needed to get an upgrade. Frank Ntilikina was the upgrade. We've been waiting for this guy to finally figure it out. Sometime before his career is over, before his Knicks career is over. But it's like, he's still not there yet. Frank is the same height, 6'5". The wingspan, Frank's wingspan is a little bit long, a little bit wider. Pause. But Elfrid Payton is still a good defender. Yes, Frank is an elite defender, the greatest defender that ever lived. But Elfrid Payton plays defense too, man. And it's not just about one individual player playing defense. The Knicks play team defense. So adding Frank is not going to do anything for us, really. Because we already play a great team defense. All the numbers that we get has nothing to do with Frank, because Frank didn't play all year. We can count, on 2 hands how many games that he started. Not just started, just accumulated, meaningful playing time. Not just played a little bit, but just had like a significant part on the game. So we can't even count that on 2 hands, I don't think, man. So, I'm not going to get into that, but, it's just a simple fact that people keeps calling for these guys, but it's really from your imagination. Everything that you're saying is from your imagination. Like I said, yes, Elfrid is bad, man. Elfrid is bad, but that's like overstating the obvious. Of course he's bad. He's not Stephen Curry. He's not even Seth Curry or anybody near Curry. He's not even like powdered curry on a freaking Indian food dish, man. But Elfrid Payton is going to be Elfrid Payton. That's who he is, and that's it. Just like Tom Thibodeau said, I don't have to say it. That's why I played the video, man. So anyway, let's just get Elfrid's reply to all this stuff.
Obviously, your scoring averages are dipping. How do you just assess how you've been playing? Obviously, you bring a lot of intangibles in defense that Thibodeau talks about all the time.
I assess my playing about how my team is doing, and we've been winning. So, and we're in the playoffs.
Thank you, Elfrid.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always love his energy, man. He always has that kind of like sarcastic thing. Because I mean, like, listen, there was a video that was played today about Julius Randle getting his hair braided, and Theo Pinson is leading the whole jokes and stuff because it's obvious that the fans believe that the Knicks play better with his hair braided. You know what I'm saying? You can go into stats and all the other stuff as well. But it's funny because the players know all about how we feel about the braids and stuff, right? So he said, don't worry, I'm going to make sure you get his hair braided and all this, that, and the other. So, I mean, if you're going to hear the positive stuff, like with fans, just feeling great about, Julius Randle wearing braids and stuff. So, of course, Elfrid Payton is hearing it from the fans. And I'm quite sure with a guy like Theo Pinson sitting in the locker room that Theo Pinson is going to be snapping on Elfrid left and right. I'm quite sure. There's a lot of guys that joke around in there. Mitchell Robinson is one of them. There's a lot of guys that crack jokes in that locker room. They're a tight-knit bunch too, man. So I'm quite sure that nothing is off the board. I'm quite sure that let him know every day that the fans can't stand the way he plays. You know what I'm saying? Just the way that that Tom Thibodeau was reporting, to the fans, and just his energy that Elfrid had just shows you right there that they know. What's going on with the fans and in the media as far as Elfrid Payton's play. But listen, man, Elfrid Payton he averaged 10 and 3 this year. I'm not going to pull up any stats now, so you can correct me if I'm wrong. Of course, I want to say like the last month or so he's been playing absolutely horrible. He had nowhere near his season averages, 10 and 3. A lot of these games sometimes he showed up and didn't even score at all. So but people crack on those numbers, saying that how bad he is. But look at Frank's numbers. Frank is the guy that everyone keeps talking about, but Frank has put zeros up across the board. People talk about his recent play that he did have some good games, recently. You know what I'm saying? Well, you got to give props when it's deserved. Of course you got to do that, man. But also to that Clippers game almost made me have a heart attack. It almost made me between me, my stepbrother, I keep saying stepbrothers, my brother-in-law, my father-in-law, between us three, it was like crazy. We was like, yo, what is he doing? That missed defensive play where he just olayed and let his guy go straight to the basket when he's the defender, the greatest defender of all time, and he steps to the side waiting for help to come. He is the help. That's the only reason why he's in the game. So if somebody's blowing past Frank Ntilikina all the way to the basket, why are you on the court, fam? You know what I'm saying? So that's the reason why I don't want Frank playing, because you can't trust him. Elfrid Payton is not going to do that. He's not going to have those kind of like whoa kind of defensive mistakes out there. Frank plays great defense, but occasionally he'll have a whoa, what the hell kind of defensive thing going on, so stuff that shouldn't be happening. But people only remember the good stuff that he does. You got to call it both ways. The same way everyone's shitting on Elfrid every 5 minutes, you gotta call it the same way for everybody on that roster. We'll do that, but we're talking about Elfrid today, man. That same Clippers game, he drove the lane in there, 6'5", longest arms on the court. He gets in there and shoots an air ball from like 5 feet from the basket, 5 to 8 feet from the basket. Because he was looking all the way to pass it to Elfrid. I think it was Nerlens Noel. He was looking to pass it to Nerlens Noel the whole way, but he had the shot the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So instead of shooting it, he's too busy waiting for the last second to give it to Nerlens. But he had the wet jump shot right there. All he had to do was shoot it. Just score it. And listen, don't get it twisted. It's not about Frank scoring the basketball. But at the same time, when you get chippies like that, you gotta freaking score, bro. You're a liability out there. Even Elfrid Payton, if Elfrid Payton was in the same position, Elfrid Payton would have scored that, 9 times, maybe 7 times out of 10. You know what I'm saying? Because Elfrid Payton's layup package is crazy. He misses a lot of chippies as well. But a lot of times he's had plenty of 20-point games where he was just dominant, going to the basket some games, man. Excuse New York in the background, man, because, we got the windows open and New York City's out there going crazy, man. But, maybe Elfrid Payton would have finished that play. You know what I'm saying? But, I trust Elfrid Payton more in those situations. You know what I'm saying? That's the police coming out to arrest all the Elfrid haters out there. But yeah, man. So that drives me crazy. And then he had a few plays later, he matter of fact, the same sequence when he's in the game, he I think shot an air ball from the corner, And then like all this time, all three of these plays started a little run for the Clippers. You know what I'm saying? So you can't make mistakes like this that other teams capitalize and score. But the play after that, he did hit a three, but Tom Thibodeau already had in his mind to take Frank out the game. So it is what it is, man. But that's the one thing I just want to bring up between the two players, because they're constantly being compared. I'll roll it back again to the beginning. Absolutely, Frank should have been starting this whole year. You know what I'm saying? But it's up to Frank to do that. It's not up to Tom Thibodeau to give him a shot or give him a chance. How many chances? 4 years. 4 years giving this guy a chance to finally do something. You know what I'm saying? That's the only reason why Elfrid is here. You know what I'm saying? Elfrid Payton would not be here if Frank was doing what he's supposed to do. And in year 4, he should absolutely be doing that. Right now, we got to think about paying Frank. You know what I'm saying? That's the absolute wrong conversation to have. We're talking like there's a lot of other topics, as far as free agency and stuff like that, but that's not important. I feel like the media's of the planting and stuff, they talk about LeBron today and stuff like that. So maybe I'll make a little podcast a little bit later talking about that stuff. But just to talk about the internal stuff that's happening with the Knicks now. So all that stuff is bullshit, man. It's the playoffs, guys. It's the playoffs. We haven't been to the playoffs in forever, and we're talking about all this fucking bullshit. So before I get out of here, I'm not gonna get some of these guys off the hook, because besides Elfrid Payton is not the only person in Knicks history that's been trash. When the Knicks were good for 13 years, 13 straight playoff appearances in the Ewing era, we've had plenty of players throughout the history of that time where we was like, oh my God, why is this guy playing? These are guys that just came off the top of their head just now before I started this. Anthony Bonner. Does anybody know who Anthony Bonner is? Anthony Bonner was one of those guys at the time, was basically a straight defender, rebounder, a slasher, 6'8" tweener kind of guy, power forward. Yeah, man. So, he was one of those type of guys, but he couldn't shoot, couldn't score, couldn't post. You know what I'm saying? Couldn't make free throws. You know what I'm saying? It was like, what is going on with this cat? So, but he was playing a lot. He was like one of the only guys coming off the bench, because Pat Riley and whoever was the coach at the time had short benches. So Anthony Bonner was playing. The guy couldn't make a layup to save his damn life, man. Yes, he was athletic. Yes, he played a little bit of defense, but he was a liability otherwise. And we had other guys on the court that could play. That we could have played over Anthony Bonner. Anthony Bonner played. But, we in the playoffs. What are we going to do? We can't be like, oh, man, complaining about, oh, why they put this guy in the damn game. It's too late for that now. This is the guys that we have. This is the guys that the coach is trusting. And these are the guys we're going to war with, so we got to stay behind them. If Anthony Bonner makes a good play, yeah, get down with it. But if Elfrid just, Anthony Bonner comes in the game, you can't be like, oh, Anthony Bonner, oh, my God. It's too late for that. We in the trenches. We are in the trenches. It's too late. It's too late to complain. Another guy that everybody will talk about throughout the history of the Knicks is Charles Smith. Charles Smith was our starting small forward. What you gonna do? You say, oh my God, they starting him again. We went to the finals with Charles Smith, for Christ's sake. Or did we? No, we didn't go to the finals with Charles Smith, but we made it deep in the playoffs, had mad playoff runs and stuff like that with Charles Smith. You know what I'm saying? But you get what I'm saying. Like people hated Charles Smith. I hated Charles Smith. You know what I'm saying? But he was 6'10". He was brought here to replace Charles Oakley, but we didn't do that. We had, out of necessity, had to start Charles Smith at the small forward spot. They tried to make him the backup, but behind Oakley and Ewing, it wasn't really working because the Knicks needed offense. So Charles Smith had to play small forward. So that it is what it is. But we won a lot of games with that crew, and that was our guy. We had to go with him. We had to put Charles Smith on Scottie Pippen, for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's already a liability right there on offense. But we had to do what we had to do. We had to play the way that we play in order to try to beat these teams out there. So we used to basically, they're killing me out here today, man. But anyway, we had to bully guys and really hurt them. They compare our defense to the 90s defense and stuff like that. So we had to play bully ball because we had the bullies. We had the big bodies to overpower other dudes. You know what I'm saying? We didn't have the finesse players, so we couldn't play like that. You know what I'm saying? So, we hate Charles Smith, but we had to play him. What you going to do? Here's another guy, Greg Anthony. Greg Anthony, he got the son, Cole Anthony. Cole Anthony's nice. Cole Anthony's going to be way better than Greg Anthony ever was. As a Knick, Greg Anthony was complete trash. You know what I'm saying? He was crazy as shit, freaking fighting Kevin Johnson, and he was supposed to be hurt. rocking the rayon shirt with the freaking shorts with the pleats and stuff like that, looking crazy out there fighting Kevin Johnson when he's supposed to be hurt or whatever, man. He was a crazy dude, man, but he was a terrible basketball player. The way that Cole Anthony shoots is a perfection over what Greg Anthony used to do. Because Greg Anthony was left-handed. He used to take it from back here and kind of shoot like that. There was no chance that shit was going in. If it went in, it was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? But he's like, yo, get him out the game. You know what I'm saying? Because you only get him in there just to kind of piss off the other point guard, basically. Because there was no reason for Greg Anthony to ever be in the game. He was complete trash. He went on to it wasn't Memphis, it was Vancouver, and he had a good year in that expansion draft year. And then he went on to Portland, and he played decent in Portland. But as a Knick, he was complete trash, man. Every time he came in the game, he was like, oh, my God, when are we going to put the starter back in? Why did we put Greg Anthony in at this time? You know what I'm saying? It was all of that. Same thing that we say about Elfrid Payton. We were saying it about Greg Anthony. And to me, it was worse because Greg Anthony was complete trash. Couldn't make a layup, couldn't do nothing. He came from the running Rebels. You would think that he was good, that he would be good at running. He was so trash, it's unbelievable. But Elfrid Payton is the worst player to ever play, according to this generation, right? Let me go to a guy that everyone loves, because of the mystique and because of just the way that people talk about the game. It's all imagination. Fucking Tyson Chandler. Tyson Chandler was a bum. He won Defensive Player of the Year, and who did he stop? You know what I'm saying? There was so many times that the guys drove the lane, and because Tyson Chandler didn't want to foul, he kept his hands down. How many times did Tyson Chandler average two blocks a game? I'm not putting any stats up in this podcast. This is something for you guys to go check out. How many times did in Tyson Chandler's career did he average more than 2 blocks a game? You go figure that out. You know what I'm saying? Answers none. You know what I'm saying? He didn't really block shots like that. Oh, it's not about that. It's about the positioning. It's about getting in front of your man, taking charges. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But he had no post-up moves. He developed a little baby hook eventually, but it wasn't something that we can give him the ball and he can go to. He had a little jump shot that he used to make every once in a while, but it wasn't something like, yo, he can stick the jump shot. No, nobody ever said that. You know what I'm saying? But Tyson Chandler was all he was a rim runner. Excuse me, rim runner. You know what I'm saying? That's what everyone loves now. Rim runners. But everybody's a freaking rim runner nowadays. We got Mitchell Robinson on our own team. I'll take Mitchell Robinson over Tyson Chandler, man. Man, Tyson Chandler he was trash. He was trash, and we wasted an opportunity to get better because we went and got Tyson Chandler based off the simple fact of the imaginary shit that they were saying about him in Dallas. In Dallas, he helped them win a championship. But that doesn't mean he's going to lead us to a championship. It just means that he played with Dirk and that team was put together a certain way, and he fit that team. When he came to the Knicks, it didn't mean that we need to like trade assets and all this other stuff to get Tyson Chandler. That set us back, man. We should have kept Chauncey Billups and that whole thing, but we decided to get rid of that and bring in Tyson Chandler. Every time Tyson Chandler came in the game, I was like, oh my God. He used to get a lot of rebounds. Some games he would get like 20 rebound games, but then you forget the next game he'll get 7. Like, yo, where are you, Tyson? Like Tyson would get 21 game and 7 the next game. Where are you, Tyson? You know what I'm saying? But let's keep on trashing guys like Elfrid Payton. I can go down the line for so many different Knicks throughout the course of our history that were just so trash. Rory Sparrow, he was the starting point guard during the Bernard King era. What the hell? You know what I'm saying? We got the greatest scorer in the NBA at the time during that little 2-year, 3-year period. It was Bernard King. He was going up against Larry Bird and all these different guys. It was who's the man type of thing. Who would win the MVP? They gave it to Larry Bird. He probably could have gave it to Bernard King. During that time. But who was his point guard? He had no point guard. We had Rory Sparrow. What are we supposed to do? We in the playoffs. We're playing against certain teams. They beat whoever they beat. That's something for you to Google. They had different playoff series or whatever. But who was our point guard? You know what I'm saying? We have to play who we got to play. We have to play the players that we have. You know what I'm saying? And we have to go for it. We have to just cheer for them guys. If I'm not mistaken, Bernard King won a playoff series with a bunch of mediocre people on the roster. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy. So you can just go down the line. So many different errors that we had, and so many bad players. You know what I'm saying? But Elfrid Payton this is unprecedented how bad fans are going at him. I just wish it would stop because listen, like I said, today's Friday. You got Saturday and Sunday. We in the playoffs, fam. If Elfrid Payton walks out there as a starter, I don't want to hear it. You know, that's my Twitter feed. I just don't want to see. I don't want to. Oh man, he's starting Elfrid Payton. Yo, 41-31. You know what I'm saying? He has a winning record with the Knicks as a starter. You know what I'm saying? This is what Tom Thibodeau is gonna do. So yo, get over it. Get over it. It's goal time. Elfrid Payton is out there. Let's cheer for him. You know what I'm saying? You know, if he doesn't play well, what the chances are he's not gonna play well. You know what I'm saying? But if he does play well, don't say, oh man, why is he shooting so much? Yo, what the hell do you want? We gotta win. We gotta beat Atlanta. That's the only thing that we should be talking about. Beat Atlanta. You know, that's really the only thing I really want to come here to say in this particular podcast, you know, surrounded by Elfrid Payton. Like I said, I talked about all the different Knicks fans. I mean, excuse me, the Knicks players, you know, that I highlighted that was super trash during our playoff run years. You know what I'm saying? But we still had to play those guys. There's nothing you could do about it. You have to play the guys that the coach is going to play. What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? We went to the finals. John Starks went, you know, 2 for 11, whatever the hell he went to. We went, and we had, you know, Hubert Davis. We had Tony Campbell. We had Rolando Blackman. Everybody and their mother was saying, why didn't they play Rolando Blackman? You know what I'm saying? Just to play him a little bit, just to get John Starks a little, you know, like rest, you know, because he was anxious. You know, get somebody in there, let him cool off, and bring him back in. Everybody and their mother said that, but Pat Riley didn't do it. So what you going to do? What you going to do? You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. It is what it is. So yeah, man. That's all I gotta say, man. Let's just see who's here on these comments. We got Big Task. I saw Big Task a little earlier, man. Hope all is well. All is well, man. I gotta lose some weight, man. I had a little get together with the Omni fan crew, and I look like a freaking walrus, man. Jesus Christ. So anyway, look out for that, man. I got something brewing with that, so I hope you guys could support me with that as well. You know, you'll see it when it comes out. But you know, Big Tax talking about Elfrid. We have to be careful with Elfrid because he might. Kwame Brown. I feel like I need to dedicate a show to that, man. But yo, shout out to Kwame Brown. Kwame Brown got completely emasculated his whole career within reason because he was a bust. You know what I'm saying? But he wasn't that bad. You know what I'm saying? He ended up being like a okay backup. You know what I'm saying? He was a journeyman. He played on everybody's team, basically. Excuse me, except the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, he was decent, but he wasn't the guy that he should have been. You know what I'm saying? A lot of players got drafted behind him that shouldn't have been drafted. But, you know, it is what it is, man. But Elfrid Payton, he might roll up, you know, after the game, you know, and just pull up on everybody in front of MSG and start squaring up on some of you guys, the way you guys be coming at him. It's on Greenhouse. What's up, Greenhouse? Excuse me. Yeah, people complain. Yeah, man. It's just not, you know, that's just the way people are. I just hate it, man. Elfrid delivering gifts during the playoffs. We'll see, man. I don't know what would cure it, you know. But here's the thing: like after the playoffs, see, that's the thing. I don't want to say after the playoffs because I'm thinking about the end game. I'm thinking about let's win the championship, fam, with Elfrid Payton as a starter. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. You know, I want to get behind these guys and cheer and make something beautiful happen. You know, shout out to Sim. You know, thank you for taking a look at what's going on here. But I'm about looking at the championship. Are the chances high for us to win the championship this year? No. You know what I'm saying? But what the fuck does that got to do with anything? This is the Die Hard Knicks podcast, not the maybe wait and see podcast. This is the Die Hard Knicks podcast. You know, I love the Knicks. I think the Knicks could beat anybody. So let's take care of Atlanta. Let's move on to the next round and keep on going to see how far we can go. I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we'll talk about Elfrid at the end, you know, after everything is done. Whatever become of it, you know, then we'll talk about it when the time comes, man. It is what it is. Yeah, man. Yeah, Elf be killing Trey. Yeah, but Elfrid don't play. Trey don't play defense. You know what I'm saying? He plays a little bit of defense, but he's not strong. Elfrid Payton can get to the basket on him all day long. If I was on the Knicks, that's what I would do. I would attack Trey. As long as Elfrid is there, Elfrid should be attacking Trey. You know what I'm saying? Make Trey play defense on one end, and you know, make him tire him out, you know, in there until we can get the squad to come in. Rose, you know, quickly, and Burke. When those guys come in, then Trey gotta guard those guys now. You know what I'm saying? So that's how you get guys like that. You know, that cheat the way that he plays. It's just a cheap way of playing basketball. You know, you gotta attack him. When Elfrid is in there, attack him. You know, Julius Randle does his thing. You know, Elfrid attacked on Trey, and then when they make the other guys come in, you know, we just have him on the heels. We gotta change the pace on a team like this, man. So we need all hands on deck, man. Ah man, yeah. Back to Kwame Brown, man. He's on demon time. He's crazy. Yeah, I would never in a million years imagine that Kwame Brown talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Because traditionally, and just historically, the imagination, like I was talking about earlier, you would think that he was a complete pussy, complete soft, just like whatever. But you hear the way he talks, he's crazy. He's a crazy dude, man. He's like bugged out. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of funny, but it's not. So I'm hoping that this ends well for Kwame Brown, because he's wild and going live every 5 minutes. I don't follow him, but everybody keeps sharing all his stuff. And every time I go on YouTube, I click, when you click one video, all of a sudden all the videos start popping up, man. So I'm trying not to I just don't want to be a part of making a tragedy happen. You know what I'm saying? So I hope that Kwame Brown could build this into something good. He's fighting some of these celebrity podcasts. Maybe he'll get his own podcast and start really doing some stuff, man. Right now it's cool that he got his own platform. Nobody's paying him and stuff like that. He's in his car doing his thing, man. So yeah, keep it going, man. Just like how I'm doing, just keep it moving. People will follow you. You don't have to go to that big network. You know what I'm saying? Senior Genius, yo, man, thank you for coming and take a look, man. I appreciate you when you come in. You definitely hold down the show whenever you come in with state and stuff. Appreciate you. Hector Gasson, I've seen you before as well. Watch Payton make the play of the series. Yeah, dunking on Capella. He does that sometimes. Sometimes Elfrid Payton sneaks in and gets one of those plays, but nobody cheers though. You know what I'm saying? He had a couple plays where he just drove in and all of a sudden he got a two-hand dunk and you wonder how the hell he did that. You know what I'm saying? So it's anything is possible. But I'm pleading with you guys. We got 2 more days until the playoffs starts. If Elfrid Payton is announced as a starter, I don't want to hear the crying, man. We got to get on board with these guys. Like I said, I mentioned Anthony Bonner, I mentioned Charles Smith, I mentioned Greg Anthony. Come on, man. We had some really bad players on the Knicks, but we still got behind them and cheered for them, man. So we got to get behind Elfrid Payton and the stuff that he does well. And we got a whole team full of guys that come in and make up for what he doesn't do. You know what I'm saying? So we just got to stick behind the guys and stick behind me too, man. Get out there, like, share, subscribe on the podcast. Hit the thumbs up too to help the podcast grow. I got to try to stay busy, man. Like I said, I'm a working man. It's a working man's podcast. I always do it live, because I don't really have the time to edit like I used to, man. So things are the way they are. This is how it's gonna be, man. Nice uncut podcast. You're gonna hear a lot of cursing and a lot of other things you might see slip through the cracks, like the police in the background, the motorcycles and stuff like that. But it is what it is. Summertime, playoff time as well. This is your boy Eru out. 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking the thumb salute. And I think I need to retire this hat, man. So we're gonna start doing this. We're gonna start using the orange and blue diehard hat. And get some color in here, get some continuity, and then when the playoffs start, you gotta rock this ratty ass hat here, the one that I'm crediting for that 9-game winning streak, man. Because when I didn't wear it, that's when the Phoenix Suns beat us. So anyway, this is your boy Eru out. See you guys on the next one. Maybe later tonight. We'll see what happens. All right, peace.